Basketball wives, darling. Yes. Okay, so this episode began where it left off last week, where they are at OG's party and sitting in the circle. We have Kristen, um, Jackie, Evelyn, Tammy, and Jennifer. So they're all sitting around the circle talking. Jennifer's being messy. She had just brought up the whole thing with Tammy, and Evelyn brought all that back up, and they got into it. And they just agreed they'll never be friends. Cool. Um, then Jennifer brought up the whole thing with the whole GoFundMe page, with Evelyn paying for the whole GoFundMe page, Jackie's daughter, and that whole fiasco and everything that went down with that child. And they did not agree to it. I think pretty much, here's the thing. I think that Evelyn's never going to be, Tammy and Evelyn are never going to be friends, and Jackie and Evelyn are never going to be friends. I think it's as simple as that. And that is completely fine. Hold on. My eyes like itching like crazy. So, uh-huh. So, they're talking, and Jackie's just like, I'm done with this, I'm done with that. Jackie, she tends to lash out quickly and get upset. But Tammy also has that spirit, and Evelyn also has that spirit as well. But Jackie is apparently trying to work on herself, and if she in fact is, then good for her. She's very like, she had to check herself at one point in the conversation. She was just like, you know what, I'm just tripping out and getting mad for no reason. I'm gonna let it go. So yeah. So after that, OG came over, and OG and Kristen started to get into a little altercation, child. And Kristen basically was just trying to get clarification. She asked OG, "Do you know what's going on with everything?" And OG, she kind of snapped her up a little bit. Kristen ended up leaving, walking off. OG followed behind her. She was just like, "I just feel like you're out of line," and she was just like, "With what?" And Christian, I don't have time for this, and I have a child and a husband and all that, and OG was just like, where is he? Where is he? He was like, he's at home with my daughter. OG was like, is he? Is he at home with your daughter? Just kind of, she was being a little nasty about it, for sure. I like OG. But, she was being a little nasty, but Kristen was being nasty as well. She's not innocent because, she was talking crap about OG in her confessional, so, karma just got your back real quick. OG just didn't know about it. So OG's man came over and asked what's tea and whoop to whoop. My whole thing on OG right now, I like her. I think she's fierce. She's Nigerian. She's a tough cookie. She's smart. She's beautiful. She's intelligent. But I feel like OG, she's coming into the situation. I think that she may have watched some reality shows, or in particular, she probably watched this show before she got on it. And I guess she feels like she has to be maybe a little overly aggressive, or she feels like she has to come at them before they come at her. Just not to show any sign of weakness, because they'll like pounce on her, especially being a new girl and stuff. But I feel like she needs to calm down a little bit, because it's not really going to work out for her, because eventually you're going to have all these ladies coming at you. And once Shawnee get in the mix, and Shawnee's against you, then you could possibly end up not being on the show anymore. In which, personally, I wouldn't sign up for a kind of show like this anyway. These girls are not really friends. They're all just fake and talk crap about each other, and that there's no real sense of sisterhood on this show in particular, at all, really. So I definitely wouldn't sign up for Basketball Wives in particular, but all the reality shows got some mess with them, so hey, I mean, it is what it is. The only way that you can have it made, or have an upper hand, is if you become an executive producer, or it's your own show. So, hell. So anyway, Jennifer, Evelyn, Kristen, they went to go sit down and talk, have a conversation. Shawnee really likes Kristen. Shawnee likes whomever's kissing her behind. In the same way with Evelyn and Jennifer. They like you to sit and kiki and, talk about the other girls on the show. And if you can't sit and do that, or if they feel like they like you for a couple of reasons. If you kiss their butt, if you sit and laugh at all their, reads, and also they like you if you're not a threat to them. If you're completely not a threat, or those three things I just listed, then Evelyn, Shawnee, and Jennifer, they would like you. Y'all would be a team of Power Rangers together. But if you don't fit any of those categories, or at least one of those, they're not going to fool with you at all. So anyway, let's see. What else is going on? So they're talking. OG starts to, Kristen, she started to talk to the girls about what's been going on with her, and how OG kind of came at her. And, OG was wrong for what she said. Saying, is your husband at home, and whoop to whoop, insinuating that he's not a good father or he's not a good husband. Evelyn and Shawnee, Evelyn and Jennifer, they did not hear that conversation. And yes, do I feel like OG's outfit was inappropriate? Yes. She could have had on something else. Especially if everybody else, if there was like no set dress code, why would you wear that? What you should have did has had some kind of African attire dress code, OG. Then you probably would not have felt so out of place, or they probably wouldn't even mention your outfit like that. But it was just very it was weird compared to what everybody else had on, which was everybody else was fully clothed completely. So yeah, that's what you should have did, was just have a little dress code. But it's fine, whatever. It's just clothes. So yeah, they're talking about that whole situation, and Jennifer being messy again. She brought up the whole thing with when Tammy said to her that Tammy was irritated that Shawnee did not laugh at her comedy event when she was making jokes about Evelyn, yet Shawnee laughed when it was just Jennifer and Evelyn, when Evelyn was making fun of Tammy. Jennifer brought that up, made that a big thing. A little later on, Tammy met up with Shawnee. And one thing I don't like is, as tough as nails as Tammy claims to be, or is, or appears to be, she won't really ever come at Shawnee about nothing. That's my biggest issue with Shawnee being on the show. Seeing as how it's her show, that she was the one that created the show, or helped create the show, whatever, however that works. Nobody's ever going to come at Shawnee in any kind of way. And if you do, like I said, it's a possibility that you could get fired, i.e. Brandy Maxfield. So, Tammy did not phrase the thing, how she phrased it to Jennifer, she did not phrase it the same way to Shawnee. Now, she did say that, she just wanted a little bit more support from Shawnee, and, she should have laughed at more of her jokes instead of sitting there with the stone face. But I guess in Shawnee's mind, she's stuck between a rock and a hard place, because she's friends with both Tammy and Evelyn. Y'all know the word friends on this show don't mean nothing. Don't mean nothing at all. So yeah, but still, it's I've always felt like Shawnee rocked more with Evelyn than Tammy, because she want to be Evelyn. Is it on? Come on now. Look, I read between the lines, child. She admires Evelyn. And the only thing that I can think of as to why she would admire Evelyn is just because Evelyn's pretty and dressed nice and, always been popular, whatever it is. That's the only thing I can think of. Other than that, I don't get it. I don't get the infatuation. I don't get it. There's many people out here that are beautiful, but they have no substance. I'm not saying that Evelyn don't have any substance or don't have any, depth or whatever. But yeah. She seems pretty shallow to me. Jennifer, same thing. I don't know. We can talk in the comment section about it, but y'all know what it is. So anyway, what else happened? So they talked, and that's basically just what Tammy said, that she felt like she needed more support from Shawnee in that moment. That's the only reason her name was brought up. But Tammy, you know in your heart of hearts that Shawnee will always rock with Evelyn over you. Here's the order in terms of Shawnee, Evelyn, Jennifer, and Tammy. Here's the originals. Here's the order on how they place the girls. Shawnee, of course, being number one, then Evelyn, and then Jennifer, and then you, Tammy. It's always been that way. Y'all can all sit and kiki and get along, but all three of them women still think they're better than you. Still. I'm telling y'all have to. Y'all got to look back at the Basketball Wives archives, darling. Y'all have to go back and do your homework. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Those of you who have been consistently watching Basketball Wives since season 1, way before they even created a Basketball Wives LA. Child. I'm telling you. They tolerate Malaysia. They don't really like her. They tolerate Malaysia, And, Jackie, none of them stand Jackie. But, they got to keep Jackie because Jackie is good for ratings because she has no limit in her crazy. I'm telling you. So anyway, then later on, Jennifer, Shawnee and Tammy, they talked, and Jennifer, she's just trying to make it seem like, she loves everybody and she just wants, everybody to get along and whoop to whoop. This is just your role. Jennifer's the bone carrier, but she's a tired bone carrier. She's tired and she's not strong about it, because all of them can blow and, Jennifer just fall on down, child. Ain't about scared of Jennifer. They had a conversation and Tammy was just like, look, me and Evelyn cool, stop trying to put us together. Just let it go, please. For the viewers, please let it go. What else is going on? Shawnee had a scene with her son, which I like Shawnee's show, with her kids. She had a scene with her oldest son, and she's trying to open up this whole weed distillery, this whole business, looking for buildings. She told her mom about it, and yeah. Moving on. What else happened? Okay, so Evelyn, she had a scene with Jennifer and Malaysia. Jennifer and Malaysia, they riding in the car together. Malaysia, she was just like, she's cool on Evelyn and Jennifer, but she just feels like they're shady and messy and mean girls, in which they are. And that would never change. And, she just didn't like the whole situation, how they tried to call Cece out like she was a hoe, basically. And, just the whole thing that happened with Jackie and Whoop to Whoop, and they was instigating, basically, throughout that whole entire thing. Just being messy, being mean, being hateful, being petty, being 17-year-old girls. Even though there are 106 between them. Excuse me. Put together, they about 106. Both of them about 50-something. So anyway, they came, it was very awkward between Evelyn and Malaysia. I remember when Evelyn first got back on the show, and they couldn't stand Brandy, and so since Brandy in Malaysia was so cool, they didn't care for Malaysia. And I remember them getting up, Evelyn, Shawnee, and Tammy. Those three getting up when Brandy came to sit down and stuff and walked out. And, they had not some nice things to say about Malaysia as well. Shawnee never cared for Malaysia because she always spoke her mind and was just for the right thing, and they wasn't. If you don't rock with them and all their BS, like I said, they don't like you. So, yeah, I remember all that. That was like last season, the season before that. So anyway, they sat down and, had a conversation. Evelyn was just like, look, I know this your friend and I understand that. And, as long as we can talk about things that has nothing to do with Jackie, then we can get along. But yeah, I don't see any chemistry between Malaysia and Evelyn. I could be wrong, but I just don't see any chemistry. Now, when this get back to Jackie, that Malaysia and Evelyn are, speaking, then, Jackie's gonna flip, but what the hell else is new? Jackie had a scene with her daughter. It's a lot that's going on with her oldest daughter, not the one that's on the show, but her oldest daughter, Takari. With the whole book thing, and I think she went on Hollywood Unlocked, and I have to watch some interviews and read up on Takari. But it's a lot that's going on with Takari, and it's really, really, really unfortunate. I'm sure this is a lot on Jackie. But if Jackie, everything Takari's saying is true, you're completely wrong, and that woman has the right to tell her story. All you could do is just heal from it and become a better person. But I seem to think that you are a certain way because of your childhood. And, there's always a reason why people act, how they act. And it usually stems from childhood. Something that happened when they were younger or whatever, and they harbor that, and it just manifests and go into different forms, but it all comes from the same place. And until you work on your inner, darling, the outer's always going to be a mess. Always going to be a mess. And she was sitting there talking to her daughter Shani and her granddaughter, and she was just like, Shandy said that Jackie never even really hugged them growing up, or hugged her and all that. So, that's why I guess they have that kind of, they're a little emotionalist people. I know families who don't really hug or any of that. Some people are just that way, but I just feel like that's just so important to get a hug from your father or a hug from your mother or somebody in your family. Just somebody just know that they love you. You can heal the world with a hug and food, I'll tell you. I hate the summertime. It's insects. Oh my god, so annoying. Okay, so anyway, the last scene was actually Jackie is actually trying to work on herself, child. She's going to see a therapist. The therapist looked like somebody I know. So we found out that Jackie was in foster care for a few years. I guess her mom, she left or couldn't take care of her or whatever was going on with her mother. I don't think she mentioned her father. And, like I said, everything comes from someplace. And hopefully, whatever went on with Jackie in her childhood, hopefully she can get over it. And, then become a better person to her husband, her kids, her sisters, brothers, if she got them, and the world, everybody else. I don't think Jackie's a bad person. I just think she's troubled. But she's going to be alright. If she puts in the work and is serious about it and put down the alcohol, she's going to be alright. She is. But for the rest of, at least she's trying. For the rest of these ladies, I don't know. With that said, I'm Mr. Chalaki. Mr. Chalaki on Google Plus. Follow me at ItsKingsWorld on Instagram and Twitter. At ItsKingsWorld89 on Snapchat. Chase King on Facebook and all that good stuff. All my social media moments will be in the bottom bar below, darling. So check me out. Alright. Now, remember, stay black and stay tuned. Bye.